there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with another deck tech. So I was going to do a full gameplay video for this today, but I've been having troubles with my internet. We got it solved. I finally was able to get a hold of the company that controls the rural Utah internet we have here, and begged and pleaded that they do not put a cap on my upload speed. I was only getting about one upload, which is okay for the normal person. However, if you upload videos to YouTube, the 2-hour video I uploaded the other day took 11 hours to upload. So anyway, we got that fixed. I should be able to start streaming again and start uploading a lot of content. I also have a video editor on board now, so you should be seeing daily brews, if not daily gameplay. So this is just going to be a deck tech, and I'm going to have this open to vote on if you'd like to see this for the Tuesday Brewsday. So I'm going to try to do a video per day with the deck tech. Some of them will just be opening MTGO and showcasing the deck or arena, and other ones I'm going to try to do a more edited type video for those decks, especially the ones that I really enjoy. So this is my take on Thunderkin Awakener. This is one of the more powerful cards out of Core 20. And it just doesn't seem to have the greatest home in Standard. There just doesn't seem to be enough elementals with toughness with 1 or less. So of course, you know, 1 is what, or 2 or less is what Thunderkin Awakener, no, 2, yeah, so it's 1. So it's, the toughness has to be less than Thunderkin Awakeners. But in Modern, there is tons of elementals that work with this. Now, I've seen some interesting lists with Thunderkin Awakener. There is one with Collected Company and all of the Ball Lightnings. So there's Ball Lightning, Lightning Skelemental, and there's another one out of green that's just a 6/1 Ball of Lightning with triple green. And then with Thunderkin Awakener and Collected Company, that can be a very brutal combo. But this is going to be my take on Thunderkin Awakener with both Unearth and Claim to Fame. So the whole goal of the deck is to get Thunderkin Awakener into the graveyard and then reanimate Thunderkin Awakener, and hopefully you have some other stuff in the graveyard. You don't even have to put Thunderkin. You want enough stuff in the graveyard and then a Thunderkin. The haste on the Thunderkin allows you to attack in and then reanimate a elemental, and then hopefully you will be able to get like a Ball Lightning or a Lightning Skelemental and just dish off a ton of damage early. So let's just go down the deck here. We have a basic 18 lands is what works good in this deck with Blackcleave Cliffs, Bloodstained Mires, Arid Mesa, with the full play set, as well as just 2 Blood Crypts, a Sacred Foundry, a basic Mountain, and a Swamp just for Path to Exile, and one other Wooded Foothills. So it's a very, very low mana count deck, but you usually are able to find the lands that you need through Faithless Looting. We're also going to run, besides just Faithless Looting, we're also going to run Burning Inquiry, because we don't really care what goes to the graveyard as much as just having our graveyard full of targets. That's what makes it, we have a lot of padding through Claim to Fame and Unearth to get back the Thunderkin Elemental, Thunderkin Awakener. And then if we throw Unearth and Claim to Fames away, yeah, that's a little bit of a feel bad, but a Thunderkin Awakener we just need in our hand or in the graveyard to start the chain. So the other card that's going to tutor up the Thunderkin Awakener is the Flamekin Harbinger. This is an elemental that enters the battlefield. You get to reveal an elemental card and put it on top of your library. So of course you're going to go grab the Thunderkin Awakener unless you have the Thunderkin Awakener out already. Typically, you want as many of these as possible, though, but we do have a few other targets you can get with the Flamekin Harbinger. The first one being Spitebellows. This is just an evoke, do 6 damage to any target when it leaves the battlefield. Awakener, reanimating the Spitebellows, it gets chump blocked. It usually will take care of a creature, and then when it leaves the battlefield, it will take care of another creature, or it just dishes off 6/1. So it's another large, it'll be a hasty creature with Thunderkin Awakener's reanimation, and I think I want to go up in count of these, or maybe put some in the sideboard. I haven't quite really tuned the numbers of this deck. There are definitely some holes in this deck. We're also going to run some Hellspark Elementals to give us another target for the Claim to Fame, and it's, of course, another Unearth target, but currently the only Claim to Fame target is going to be Thunderkin Awakener and Flamekin Harbinger, which are kind of lackluster. I mean, Awakener's good, but if you don't have one, the other targets are very lackluster for the Claim to Fame. And the other targets we can get with the Harbinger are going to be the Glarewielder. This is just another evoke that has haste, and when it enters the battlefield, up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn. So I felt like this is a trial card, probably wants to be another Spitebellows or another Hellspark Elemental. I thought I'd give it a go. Speaking of which, with this being a Shaman, that's another route that I kind of do want to try out, is the Thunderkin Awakener with the Rage Rage Forger. Rage Forger is an elemental shaman, and when it enters the battlefield, it puts a +1 counter on all shamans. And that makes the Thunderkin Awakener's toughness go to a 2/3, and that's like a rinse and repeat with the Thunderkin Awakener. Every time the Rage Forger comes back in, it'll make it bigger, and I don't know. We'll have to look and see if that is a viable strategy with elemental shamans. Anyway, the last target we can get with the Flamekin Harbinger is the Vesperlark. This is the whole reason we're running white. We do have a card in the sideboard for white as well. But when this leaves the battlefield, you can return a card with power 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you can get some tricky attacks in with this, that even if they chump block your Thunderkin Awakener, you're going to be getting the or the Vesperlark's going to die in a turn, and then return the Thunderkin Awakener back to the battlefield, and then you can rinse and repeat. That's the theory anyway, and that's what I have 3 of in the main. It doesn't really get any other cards though. That's kind of the problem with Vesperlark. So it's just Thunderkin Awakener you're going to be targeting, maybe a Flamekin Harbinger with the power 1 or less. Okay, so let's go on to the other elementals. Of course, Ball of Lightning and Lightning Skelemental. Lightning Skelemental is going to be the best card to get out early, so like a first turn Faithless Looting into a Unearth is pretty decent on Lightning Skelemental to do 6 damage and force your opponent to discard 2 cards. But it's definitely between these two, the Ball Lightning and the Lightning Skelemental. These are your finishers. And then we're going to have another way to fill up our graveyard with Seasoned Pyromancer. Seasoned Pyromancer, even though it does create elemental creature tokens that aren't relevant in this deck, it doesn't really care that they're elemental tokens. This is going to be more ways to put cards into your graveyard and draw more cards. So that's kind of the gist of the deck. It's fast. It's fun, especially when you do get that first turn Faithless Looting, find cards in your graveyard, then get a hasty Awakener. You feel very far ahead at that point. Again, there's still a lot of tuning that needs to be done. Possibly need to put like Lightning Bolts or Terminates or something like that in the main. Sideboard, I've just got a very typical sideboard for today's kind of meta. Thoughtseize is quite strong with the London Mulligan. If you see people mulliganing aggressively, then you can always bring in Thoughtseize to take out their rest in pieces or whatever they've mulled aggressively to. And speaking of a card to mull aggressively to, Leyline of the Void is a one-sided rest in peace. So against other graveyard-based strategies, you bring this in. And Collective Brutality is another great card that you can discard cards and put them in your graveyard to then make your opponent also get rid of an instant or sorcery, or kill a creature, or just dish off life. The last card is Spark Trooper. This is really what you bring in versus the burn matchup, because it's going to put you ahead on that life race, and it's a very, very good card to get out turn 2, to do 6 damage, gain 6 life, and then rinse and repeat with a Thunderkin Awakener. So that's just the deck. Again, you can vote on this deck for us playing it on the Tuesday Brewsday. If not, I probably will end up giving this deck a go. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Again, there's definitely some matchups where you flame out and don't really do anything, but this is, if you're into casual modern, this is definitely a deck that I think you should try out. The mana base doesn't have to be this way. You can cut the Vesperlarks and probably go mostly basics and cut a lot of money into this and that. At that point, it would be pretty budget. I don't think that any of these cards are expensive except for the Seasoned Pyromancer, and that's a card also that can be cut. It's not necessary for this particular build. And of course, sideboard can be tuned to like Rakdos Charms and things that aren't insanely expensive. Like even Leyline Void with the reprint in Core 2020 though isn't that expensive anymore. Anyway, be sure to vote on this deck if you want to see it played, and if not, I'm sure we'll get around to it. Anyway, this has been Kevin with the Rogue Deck Builder. Thanks for watching.